Somewhere on this list is an episode where 7 people get superpowers and start hunting each other, and I will go to bat for it being the single greatest thing this show has ever made. We'll get there. The thing with the classic era is there's just so many good episodes. There's maybe like 40 episodes with real argument for the top 10 spot. I've seen all 300, some more times than I'm comfortable admitting, and I still don't fully agree with myself from one rewatch to the next. So this isn't the objective list, it's one I'd fight for. Race start. Kim Jong-kook and Jang Do-yeon are the dangerous couple, and every other team's entire mission is just don't get in the same room with them. The first game has the female cast turning shockingly competitive, throwing other members around like nothing. The second game is the funniest part of the whole episode. Couple after couple completely falls apart trying to guess a single sentence. The final game barely matters, it's just a formality to keep dodging the dangerous couple. Here's my real reason this one cracks the top 10 though. Jessie. Her appearance is so refreshing as a variety show newcomer. She just do and say anything that she wants with no filter. Literally anything. I feel the highlight of this episode is when Jessie just say random things when he tried to guess the sentence, and it's the hardest part. I laughed on my first watch. This is the episode that made Park Ji-sung a variety show legend before he'd even said much. His first variety show appearance ever, paired with IU as the other big name guest. The concept is superpower games of football, and everyone gets an ability except Ji-sung. IU can summon an army of her middle-aged uncle fans, a power that is, unfortunate for everyone else, completely unbeatable. Kwang-soo freezes people in places for a few seconds. Haha gets a power he's too scared to actually use. Ji-sung ends up on a team of exactly 2, himself and Kwang-soo against literally everybody else. With no ability to fall back on, he wins the game anyway with pure skill. Give a world-class athlete no advantages and watch him dismantle the room regardless. Then the episode shifts into a fish market mission the next morning. And this is where Ji-sung really sells the guest appearance. He's not just a good sport, he's quick, unbothered, and throwing out ad-libs like he's done this 100 times before, including a running jokes about buying IU a car that somehow keeps getting funnier. And then the episode ends by revealing he's been playing a secret spy this entire time. I still go back to this one on rewatch and it still holds up every time. Another episode with Park Ji-sung again, but this time he brings his best friend from his football days, Patrice Evra. A man who had never seen the show, spoke maybe like 5 Korean words, and had never met a single cast member, and he somehow turns into one of the best single episode guest performance of the entire era. He and Ji-sung share the exact same energy, completely unbothered, completely chill, like they've been hanging out with the cast for years. At one point, the members ask him to guess everyone's age by just looking at their faces, and he immediately points out Kwang-soo and says 42. I don't know why that line still gets me every time, but it does. The team then split into 2 teams, Ji-sung teams and Evra team, all building toward qualifying for the Asian Dream Cup. The Don't Flinch goalkeeper game, trying to keep a straight face while a ball rockets toward your head, might be the funniest stretch of the episode, and the actual Asian Dream Cup match at the end delivers too. It's not a top 3 episode for me, but it's one of the most purely enjoyable 40 minutes in the classic era, and that counts for a lot. F Bingo, one of the most brutal name tag formats the show ever came up with. Every bingo square is tied to a specific player. Everyone fills out their own card in secret, and the first person to complete 4 lines in the bingo card wins, which means you genuinely have no idea who's actually targeting you until it's too late. Alliances form and collapse in the same 5 minutes. But before we even get to that, this episode stacked 3 great guests and split the whole group into 2. Random through mud volleyball chaos and a quiz show conducted inside an actual working sauna, where the heat alone is enough to make people forget basic questions. Here's why this one holds up better than a lot of twist-heavy episodes on this list. It's not built around one big reveal you can only experience once. Something like the Sherlock Holmes episode lives and dies by that one twist. Knowing it going in, the tension drops. This one doesn't need a surprise. The jokes, the games, and the small moments are strong enough on their own that I can rewatch it constantly and it never gets old. I call this one the Reincarnation episode, because that's basically the plot. Half the episode is set in 1938, with the cast playing state comrades hunting for 7 hidden keys to a treasure box. One by one, they get eliminated until a single comrade holds all 7 keys and opens the box. And it's empty. The whole thing was a decoy. Somebody hid the real treasure somewhere else. Fast forward to the present day, where everyone now is reincarnated into a different person. Their mission now is to find the person who won in 1938 and find where the real treasure is hidden. Using clues from the past and connected with the present time, they can slowly figure out who they were in the past and whether they were the winner. This is a variety show doing a full mystery thriller structure. Split timeline, false winner, hidden identity, all of it, and it commits completely. The concept alone deserves to be on my top 10 list. This is what happened when Running Man stopped being a game show for 40 minutes and just becomes a movie. The Sherlock Holmes episode opens with the cast getting invited onto a cruise ship, where Ji Seok-jin lost an award he'd literally just been given the day before. 2 guest detectives showed up and suddenly cracked the case in the most absurd way possible. And then the group is sent to track down a legendary jewel called the Blue Water, using clues scattered across the entire ship. Then, out of nowhere, Ji Seok-jin gets eliminated, which makes no sense because this is supposed to be a treasure hunt, not an elimination game. Everyone panics except for the 2 guest detectives, who are suspiciously calm about the whole thing. One by one, more and more people start getting picked off by someone calling himself Lupin. Each elimination leaving behind a black card as the only clue to his identity. By the end, only 2 players are left and they finally cracked it. Lupin was Ji Seok-jin the entire time. Here's what makes the premise genuinely beautiful. Ji Seok-jin, the weakest member, the guy who gets eliminated first almost every single episode, was secretly the phantom thief running the whole con. Nobody ever saw it coming because he was supposed to be eliminated so early in the episode. But there was never an announcement. His name tag never actually came off. Technically, Song Ji-hyo and Kim Jong-kook win the race. Emotionally, this episode belongs entirely to Ji Seok-jin. This episode is an anniversary to the first You Must Born episode. Sets in prison where everyone is locked in for a variety of ridiculous reasons, like being ugly is apparently a crime offense here. Then they found a secret message telling them to find clues in the cell to help them escape the prison, but they have to be careful because the guards are roaming around everywhere. And in this episode, Yoo Jae-suk became the unexpected betrayal once again. All of the members are trying hard to escape and he was trying to put them back inside the cell. Using the water gun, he marked each one of the members and the guard will take them back into the cell. The vibe of this episode is a spy thriller. You can feel the tension and anxiety, especially when Kim Jong-kook suddenly comes out the second time. But thankfully, in the end, our sneaky spy was able to put him back in the cell. Gary is thrilled to finally get cast as the spy for once. What he doesn't know is that everyone else already knows about it too. It's essentially a Running Man's version of the Truman Show. The planning, the tension, the acting job the entire cast has to pull off, while their actual mission is just to keep Gary convinced he's fooling everyone until the camera stops rolling. Watching him spiral, panic, and blurt out increasingly unhinged cover story is one of the funniest hidden camera setups the show has ever pulled off. And it only works because of who Gary was. He's exactly the kind of person who'd fall for this. The ending elevates the whole thing from great to legendary. In the final scene, shot as a direct parody to The Usual Suspects, the episode quietly implies that Gary might have known the entire time and played along anyway. The show never confirms it. Fans are still arguing about it, and I'm still not sure about it either. Depending on which side you land on, the entire episode plays completely differently on rewatch, and that kind of double interpretation is rare enough to easily justify the top 3 spot on this list. If you've never seen a single episode of the classic era, I recommend to start from this very episode. A hospital with hundreds of extra and one guest. The cast is hunting for secret hidden guest star, except the guest is Yoo Jae-suk himself, quietly tasked with eliminating every single teammate without anyone realizing he's the one doing it. This is the first episode where the concept itself becomes the entire show, and it's still one of the most satisfying things Running Man has ever pulled off. Watching the national MC pick off his own teammate one by one inside a hospital until he's the last man standing. Back then, no variety show had ever done a betrayal format like this. I remember seeing while visiting the show years later and saying they'd never seen a traitor/cheater concept before. So this episode didn't just do betrayal well, it basically invented the format for Korean variety. And everything the genre does with hidden traitors today traces back to this very episode. Before we get to number 1, there are a few episodes that hurt to cut off this list. I will mention a few of the episodes such as episode 118, where Choi Min-soo returns as the hunter for one final brutal hunt. Episode 135, where Jackie Chan shows up and treats the whole thing like it's just another Sunday. Episode 195, the MCU special, where 2PM, 2NE1, and Mystic 89 go to full agency war in one of the best name tag races the show has ever produced. Episode 144, the Children's Day race that ends with 1,000 pairs of running shoes donated to charity, filled with an incredible guest lineup from start to finish. Episode 181, which introduces us with a fresh new concept of land monopoly. Any one of these has the potential to be on the top 10 list. Here it is, the episode I teased at the start of this video, and my personal pick for the best episode classic era ever produced. Episode 74 is a sequel to episode 42, pure name tag battle royale, but it adds one idea that changes everything. What if everyone had a superpower? You just control space, Ha controls time, Gary can duplicate himself. Every single cast member gets a completely unique ability, kept secret from everyone else, which means nobody actually knows what they're up against until it's already too late. I watched this as a kid and spent actual real hours afterward daydreaming about which power I'd want. That's the kind of episode this is. The concept was so good, the show kept coming back to it for years afterward, and nothing they made from it ever quite topped the original, showing that this is probably one of the best, if not the best episode of the entire era. So that's my top 10. Tell me where I got it wrong. And if you've actually sat through all 300 of this episode yourself, you're exactly my kind of people. Drop your own top 10 below, subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Sticky out!